Hi, my name is Cher Corbin and I'm the co-founder of NostrEggs. And in this video, we're going to look at exactly how using NostrEggs in a matter of minutes, you can get your own chat started with your own data and monetize on that data. All right, let's just get started. You'll see what I mean. So first off, you can open the chat right here. This is the chat that we created as an example that uses, you see, this one just uses GPT-4, so no data in the background, no vector databases, one of our nests. Whereas these do, right? So this one allows you to directly talk with the NostrEggs documentation if you choose to. Now, what's neat with this chat is that, of course, it is completely integrated with NostrEggs already, but also it is available on Replit. So if you open this up, it's going to open the code. Now, what I am going to do, because I'm already logged in on this browser, I'm just going to copy the link and I'm going to open it in Chrome right here. And so here we go. I'm logged in here with a different account. I can just run it if I want to, but directly what you can do is actually fork it. When you fork it, you can just call it differently. I don't know, like my Nostr chat. And I can, make it, of course, right now just public. I could upgrade to make it private and I'm going to fork it. So now we've got no file open. Sure. Let's wait it to load completely. I'm going to go in full screen. And what we've got here, we've got all of the files. We've got the source in here. And in here, you can see if you scroll down in the chat logic, we've got, here we go. This is how we create the data for NostrEggs. And then at the bottom, we can see this is how we call the function for this data. Okay, and then we set the values. Great. So there's one thing that needs to be done, first of all, is to set your own secrets. Because in order for this app to work, we need those secrets. And these secrets, actually, we know that we've got basically private key, public key, Nostr Wallet Connect, and we go and get them from our own APIs, which is somewhere where we declare our server, which is here. Okay, so we know that we need to create one environment variable that is called Nostr Private Key, one that is called Nostr Public Key, and then another one that we call NWC URL. All right, so how to get started with that as quickly as possible. So if you're back here, you can go back on our own website because from here you can just log in. Now, of course, you are trying to copy this chat, so you do not have your Nostr private keys for running apps with NostrEggs. If you do have an existing Nostr private keys, well, you can actually directly paste them in here. Just do use the hex or npub actually, and either of them works. But if you want, you can just create one here, and that's what we're going to do now. So I just create one. Now, what this does is just create Nostr public and private keys for me. I don't require any email, no nothing. Everything just works and you can communicate with Nostr this way. So you see, it loads first the dashboard, which is empty. Of course, we haven't created an app that uses anything. So it's all down to zero. But what we can do is go into the API keys and you can find your private key and your public key. Now, these are highlighted because these are the ones that you should copy. These are just NSEC and NPub. These are other more common for sharing standards of Nostr public and private keys. As you can see that NPub, well, it starts with NPub, so you know obviously that it is a public key, whereas NSEC, well, starts with NSEC, and of course is slightly different, but it allows to more easily distinguish between the private key and the public key. Anyway, so all I need to do, you see, is copy this value. Then I'm going to go back into our Replit. I'm going to go into the secrets and I'm going to create a new secret. And I'm going to call it Nostr _ private _ key. And I'm going to give it a value that I just paste, add secret. And now let's continue. I take the public key, I copy it. Then I come here. What we need is actually, I'm going to copy this new. So I pasted Nostr public key. Then I come here, I copy this and I paste the values of the public key. I add the secret. Now, the next one that we need is Nostr Wallet Connect URL. This one takes a few more steps, but I'm not going to lie, it's very simple. And we can check it out here. The easiest is to go into our documentation that opens up, and we have a Getting Started section that is right here. So I can go into Getting Started. And in here, you see there's some prerequisites. One of them is being Albi. So you do need an Albi account. I mean, it's the easiest one. This is why we recommend it. And, you just create an account with them. This allows you to have a Lightning wallet and a browser extension. It's very, very convenient. But anyway, you're going to be needing that. But then what you need is to set up the environment variables. So you see we've got Nostr private key and public key. We've got that already. But we need the Nostr Wallet Connect secret, which is the special payment passcode. Now, in fact, it's only needed if you want your app to be able to pay. Otherwise, if your end user is supposed to pay, well, what we've just input is already enough. But for the sake of our chat that does require it by default, well then, you just need to create the keys here and move on to the Nostr Wallet Connect URL. So you see, this is what we've already done. We've already created these environment variables and then the NWC. So in order to do that, well, we need to visit getapi.com and this link in particular, NWC, in order to get our Nostr Wallet Connect URL. So we've got to get that. Let me log in. I can log in with my wallet directly. Okay. I input my email, etc. So once I logged in, you see I already have a few here, but I can just create a new connection. I can for sure just leave everything by default. You can set an expiry date and a budget if you want to. And we're going to call it NostrEggs chat demo. And I confirm. And so once this is confirmed, then you can reveal the pairing secret and you can copy it. It's a long string. You can just copy it and just head back into our own chat here. So I'm replit. I'm going to create a new secret. This one I call NWC_URL, and I paste the value. I add this secret, and we are good to go, I believe. The only thing that I need to do right now is, just build it. So I just need to run npm run build. It's going to take whatever amount of time it needs just to build this. It should be around 10 to 15 seconds. And then our app will be usable. But what we did want to do is to use our own data and monetize on it, right? So in order to do so, well, we're going to go back into our web app. If I find it somewhere here, exactly. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new nest. So I've got this pretty neat little data set that maybe I can try and monetize on. Maybe I can experiment with it. So I'm going to create a new vector store. And I'm going to call it, I have it here, The Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin. Subtitles is the source file, but we're just going to call it like that. This is a documentary that I made. And so we're just going to copy this value, paste it here, and this is about the file. So let's put in here subtitles, right? Then I can go and choose the file. I have it right here, demo folder, and I have it PDF. So now, today, at this current stage, you can only vectorize PDF and JSON files. This is just, the first use case that we've had. We're going to build up more, including completely different types of data, like, YouTube transcripts, you name it. And in here, what I can do is I can create it public or private. Now, obviously, I'm going to make it public because ideally, anyone else building an app can use it, right? So public, anyone can see it, and I'm going to make it paid. Now, I think, I worked like 7 months on this documentary, so let's make it 100 sats per request, which, if you think about it, isn't that much in dollar terms, but it's just, to chat with it. Like, maybe it can be worth a lot, and I want this to be paid to this address. Actually, no, look at this. I've got one from the films, so the Great Reset Films at getapi.com, and I save it, right? So when I hit save, what happens is that it's requesting payment. So I need to pay 2,000 Satoshis in order to vectorize my data. So I pay it now. And the vector store is being created. And, it might not appear just yet when I go into my own nest. It might, I'm not sure. It is not there yet. So it's happening in the background. And the reason for this is because, of course, it's an hour and 20-minute film and all of the text for that. It needs to be vectorized by NostrEggs. So this is happening in the background. You can continue to do your own stuff in the meantime. In fact, what I should have done is copy the little vector store ID that appeared up there. So I could already get into our chat because we know it's going to be there eventually. For now, all I need to do is hit refresh until it appears. And here we go. So the Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin, we have it here. We see that, it's got this kind of content. Talk about Bitcoin, yeah, 51% attack, that's Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, etc., etc. And it's got this ID here. So this ID, I just need to copy it, come back into our chat, and I'm going to go find into our app.js. We're going to replace it because I'm not going to change the whole interface. You guys do this in your own time. I'm just going to make it so that if you ask a question to Nostr chat, well then actually it's going to ask questions to our The Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin film. And we don't need a system message. You know what? I'm going to get rid of this. just not to confuse the AI. We don't need right now, so I'm just going to delete it, and I can let the app pay it. Why not? So that it'll be faster, and especially, you know, we're just testing it out. No need to get the invoice pop up. Okay, so now it is done. There is one thing I didn't check. We should do npm install just to make sure that we install any package and dependencies that are needed. So let's do this now and wait to see the result. Okay, so now that this is done, I'm going to run the build again. So npm run build. We wait for that to happen. Great, so now that this is built, I can just click run, and in theory, our chat will be working. So wait, let's make this a little bit smaller. Now GPT-4, we set it for Nostr chat. So I'm going to select Nostr chat, and I can ask it a question, and I'm going to ask it something about my own film, which will be, what are central bank strategies? No WebLN compatible Lightning wallet. So 1 second, because I do have one. I think it's just the internal browser. So if you don't have a Lightning wallet, this is the error that you can expect to receive. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab. I'm going to close this one here. So I open it up here. We see GPT-4. I go on Nostr chat and I type, what are central bank strategies? Hit send. So you see now it sees that I do have a wallet. I can actually see it right here. And here we have it. During deleveraging events, central banks adopt 3 strategies. The first strategy is to lower interest, etc. Yeah, so this is exactly taken from my film. And right now I know that paid to this address, actually, because this is the address on this wallet that owns it, while incoming a few seconds ago, we were just paid for our data, which is 100 sats. And of course, well, I'm also the owner of the API. So I was paid 10 sats as owner of the API and 100 sats as owner of the vector store. You can see the details of the message. Your vector store with ID X just earned you 100 sats. And right here, your egg named this just earned you 10 sats. So here you have it. You can do whatever you want with this. You can come in here and change all of the code as you wish. You see how easy of an integration it is with NostrEggs to just get started with your own chat and many, many other AI applications that you could think of. So that's it. Thank you very much. I hope that you will experiment with this and look out for our other videos where we explain other of the cool NostrEggs functionalities.